Well, to put it mildly, President Joe Biden is completely out of touch with American interests in the wake of Laken Riley's murder, which I discussed, obviously, for the beginning of the program again today. Biden is continuing to put the pressure on Congress to pass the so-called border bill that was drafted earlier this month. They say by a bipartisan group of senators. I've got different terms for them. A bill that they claim preserves the Biden administration's catch and release program used by thousands of illegals to secure humanitarian parole. It's the same program, by the way, that Laken Riley's murderer used to get into our country in the first place back in 2022. Joe Biden still plans on showing his face at the border tomorrow. What an embarrassment. No remorse for his administration's role in the border crisis that threatens American lives every single day. Joining me live to discuss this, Congressman from Montana, Matt Rosendale. Matt, nice to see you again.
Steve, always good to see you.
You know, people don't think that Montana is hit by the border crisis, but illegal drugs and fentanyl, they're on the streets of Montana, aren't they? People get killed
They sure are.
By drunk drivers on the roads of Montana by illegal aliens. This affects every state, every corner of this country, and the gall of this administration to sit there and tell us over and over again, oh, the border's secure. No, Congressman, it's not. What say you?
It is not secure. And the Biden administration, the only reason that they have put any funding for the border in this supplemental bill that they're trying to pass is so that they can try and get an additional $60 billion sent to Ukraine. Our border is a mess. It's wide open. I visited down there 4 times, as you just referenced. Yeah, we do. We're a northern border state. Our border is with Canada. However, we have southern border problems. I have 7 Indian reservations contained within my state, and they have found themselves to be little safe places for the cartels to operate their illicit activities from. The Attorney General in Montana, Austin Knudsen, will tell you that we've seen about a 1,300% increase in fentanyl deaths and overdoses. We've got a major problem up there. And I'll tell you, Steve, what really concerns me is this is tragic, okay? Laken Riley's death is tragic. That is one death. We've had over 200,000 deaths from fentanyl overdoses since Joe Biden has taken office, and we don't get to see the faces.
And here's the thing. Laken Riley's death, she has become, sadly for her family, she has become the face of the failure of the border. She is somebody that was beaten to death in broad daylight on a major university campus in the middle of America. But you're right. 400 Americans today will die of fentanyl poisoning. 400 again tomorrow. 400 the day after that. Nobody seems to give a damn, Matt. Nobody seems to care. Not in this administration. Well, 400 today, 400 tomorrow, 400 the day after that. How many funerals? How many bodies? How many Laken Rileys have to be taken to the morgue before somebody in the Democrat Party says, whoa, maybe this is not a great idea? How many?
I don't know about the Democrat Party. I don't, Steve, because what I continue to hear out of them is the information about their cities being inundated with illegal immigrants coming in, but they're not talking about addressing the actual problem, which is the border being wide open. What they say is they come to Washington and ask for more money to accommodate these individuals. The supplemental bill that the Biden administration is trying to pass has never contained anything about border security. It's about building temporary soft-sided housing. It's about putting more social programs in place. So when people get across the border, they can house them down there instead of having to remove them all around the country. This is a massive problem, and I continue to say we are $35 trillion in debt, and we have a wide open southern border. These are 2 existential threats to our national security, and we must absolutely address both of them. And I don't have a problem saying that if we can't secure our border, we should not fund the rest of the federal government until we can secure our border. That's got to be job one.
Shut it down. That's where I am now, Matt. I shut it down. The American people put border security as the #1 issue. That's why Joe Biden is chasing Donald Trump down to the border tomorrow. Donald Trump was headed to Eagle Pass, Del Rio sector. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden, for the second time in his life ever, after the death of Laken Riley, is suddenly going down to Brownsville, which, by the way, there's nothing going on at Brownsville right now. He won't see much. But he's going to make a trip to the border. For what reason, I don't know. And then they're going to claim somehow that it's not his fault that his hands are tied, even though the number of illegal crossings is up 8 times from what it was in 2020. 8 times, Matt. You can't tell. And that's the same way it was with George W. Bush, Barack Obama, Donald Trump. It was in that same range, 300,000 to 400,000 for a dozen years. And all of a sudden it's at 3.5 million. Come on. I'll give you the last word.
Now, okay, so the House of Representatives have passed H.R. 2. H.R. 2 is the most comprehensive and conservative immigration and southern border security legislation that has ever come through Washington, I am told. It sits over in the Senate waiting for Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer to do something with it. That being said, we have the ability, Biden has the ability right now to secure our border. The Remain in Mexico policy, reactivating ICE, making sure that they conduct raids and deport people. We absolutely, and continue the construction of the border security system. He has shut it down, and Mayorkas has been complicit in all the bad things that we have just been discussing, which is why he's the first cabinet member in I don't know how many 100 years that's been impeached. We're also waiting for the
More
Senate
than a century.
to take that.
Yeah, more than a century. You know, you mentioned Mitch McConnell. I do want one more thing. I want to comment on Mitch McConnell announcing today that he will step away from Senate leadership in November. He's all done with Senate leadership. Good thing, bad thing, or should he go a bit further and just say, you know, I'm not coming back at all? Your thoughts?
Well, I think that they need the vote. I don't know exactly how strong the vote would be, but I certainly think that the Senate and the country is ready for a new minority leader.
Yeah. I'm guessing John Thune, but we'll keep an eye on that, Matt, and see what happens. Greatly appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me on, Steve.